In this video, you'll meet Shin, who's been trading since 2020, and his journey hasn't been so easy because initially he found trading success with multiple payouts, but eventually hit a wall and couldn't keep up. As a result, he actually quit trading and went back to his job, and after some time took the bold decision to go all in on his trading, leave his job, and give the markets a second chance. And now, after 8 months of being inside WWA, he has now transformed his initial beginner's luck into consistency, confidence, and a complete shift in his mental game. It's been wonderful working closely with Shin and seeing his developments in his trading journey, and in this episode you're going to see his full story.
Hello everyone, and today I'm very excited. We're gonna be having a conversation with Shin, born and raised in Spain, but from China, right? Or born
Yeah.
in China, raised in Spain.
No, I was born and raised in Spain, but my parents are
Amazing.
from China.
Amazing. Exactly. Chinese background, but born and raised in Spain, like myself. So very happy to be having this call with you. We're gonna be learning about Shin's process since he joined WWA. He joined around 8 to 9 months ago, and he was coming through a particular journey that we're gonna be discussing in a second, and then how he's basically evolved into his current state. So Shin, a pleasure to have you.
It's my pleasure actually to be here also because as you already know, I've been following you for a few years already. I started trading on around 2020 during COVID, so it's been around 4 or 5 months now. And after this, it's been a pretty long journey. When I started, the first year it was all studying. I was studying trading around uh, I think it was around 10 hours a day, 8 to 10
Mhm.
hours a day, because I started in COVID, so I had all the time I wanted. So I was focusing all day long on it. And at that point, I evolved my trading a lot on the start of the journey. I could say that maybe my time that I was putting on it, maybe it was someone's 2, 3 years of time, to be honest. And then after a little bit more of 1 year trading, I started to get some payouts. I was funded and I was getting some payouts for around 5 to 6% a month.
Nice.
And then after that, I had some ups and downs because I think I was not ready for the money that I was getting because I
Mhm.
was not mentally prepared. I was all studying on technicals, but never focused on my mental game, let's say.
Yeah.
So after that, I had to go through a pretty hard journey when I lost my accounts, and then I couldn't find my profitability again because I was on it's like it was like a roller coaster because I was so up
Mhm.
that then it came the fall and I was not ready for it. So it was pretty hard for me. And then I decided to focus on my job, which was my main source of income at that time. And I was able to scale on my job also. So it was okay on the other side, but not in trading. So after that, I was like maybe getting a payout, then losing account, getting another payout, then losing the account. So I was not fully profitable.
Yeah.
And I decided to focus on my mental game, and that the last year I
If I can stop
invested
you
on
for a
it.
second there,
Yes.
what you were mentioning a few interesting points here is like you were able to get funded, get some payouts, and then through that roller coaster, you were saying that you were not ready for, let's say, managing that volume of money or that payouts that you were receiving or that withdrawals. Uh, what do you think it led to that downhill moment from a technical perspective or from a mindset perspective? Where do you feel things started to go, let's say, rock bottom, and then decided to, as you said, go into your working routine again and scale on your
hmm
job, kind of probably to have a little break? So, what was that process looking for?
There was issues on both sides. I would say either technicals and mental. From the technicals perspective, I think market was changing a little bit, and I was not adapting correctly. I was still using the smart money concepts, so it stopped working for me. And I was still looking to take the same trades, but they were not working for me anymore. And then I entered on the on desperation, let's say, and that's when mental game also affected me. So I think it was a little bit of both because I was seeing that the strategy was not working as well, that it affected also my mental. And also, I think it's because I was starting to get relaxed because I was like, okay, I trade 1 week or 2, 3 days a month and I get this payout consistently. So I don't have to study anymore because I've already gone through. And from now here, it's becoming millionaire and Lambos.
Yeah. What was your strategy? If you could define it like on a quick way, what was
Hmm.
your strategy back on the day when you said you started to not see that progress that you were seeing before due to lack
Hmm.
of market adaptation?
Especially I was using smart money concepts. So the POIs and the break-off structure and having that mixed a little bit with Wyckoff. So
Okay.
that was my strategy.
Amazing. And through that journey, you said you got back into your job, decided probably to let trading a bit on the side, or maybe still going through, but focus more on your career. What made you decide go back into trading, or let's say even joining us, if that was more or less when the process came?
So, before joining WWA, a year before, I was already focusing on mentorship, on paying mentorships and paying studies, books, and all of that,
Yeah.
because I knew I had to grow. For me to grow, I had to do a change. So the change comes first on the inner side, so it can reflect on the outer side. So I started to focus on studying. I spend the most money on studying, especially. And by that time I was thinking on joining WWA, but I was thinking, okay, I'm not sure if it's the time or not, if I have to do this investment or not right now. So I decided not to, which I did this year, because
What were your biggest doubts when joining us, let's say, when you decided
um
not to join at the beginning?
Hmm. Especially, there was two factors. One was, I'm not sure if I can invest this money right now, so it doesn't affect my economy,
Yeah.
so it doesn't put me on a trouble. And then the second one was, I don't know if I will have the time to invest on something that I've invested that much money,
Mhm.
because I think that if you put the investment, it's totally worth. But the thing is that you need to have the time to work on it, because 6 months passes fly by super fast. And if
Yeah,
you don't put the time to work on it, it's like you have lost your investment.
for
So
sure. For
that
sure.
that's what I was thinking, especially.
And what turning point from like, let's say, doubting a bit and not joining and having these two points in there to then I think you said a year later, right?
Yeah.
So a year later ended up taking the decision or the leap of faith and joining us. What made you make that decision?
Since I was a little guy, I've always said, okay, when I'm grown, I want to be rich. I don't know how or when, but I want to
Mhm.
be. So the thing is that once I discovered trading, I knew that would be my career and I would like to grow on that path. So I've always focused on trading. I never, although I was more focused on my job, I was also watching the charts every day and
Yeah,
etc. So it was not having it on a side totally, so it was more partially because I couldn't use that much time on trading. So what made me made the step to say, okay, now it's the time that I can join WWA for the VIP and I have the time. It's because I had so much money saved that I could have like 1 year of spendings covered. And I said, okay, I think now it's the time because it will be now or never. I can make up excuses or just put the actions, and we all know that actions is what matters. So I said, okay, I'm gonna quit my
amazing.
job, go full time on trading, and I put like all my money on the table and said, okay, now
Yeah.
it's time.
And you did something that even though I know has worked for you, and we'll get now in a second to that. We sometimes don't recommend it to everyone, right? Going to that kind of like full time into it because I have some savings. Because at the end of the way, even though it has worked on the past for you, you're also joining a new experience that will be tapping on a second. You're joining a new methodology. Things need to get adapted, and is testing phase to make the returns that are expected not only on the investment you've made but also for your future as a career. So I know that was like your leap of faith. I am the type of person, I always say it, and you know me now from inside, where like I don't like to, I just like to give my opinion, but never being very forced to people. I think each person is completely different. You have yourself that going all in has been successful. There's people that go all in and they're not successful, which is fine. It's just a lesson. They just go back to their normal life. But what was your process? Because you've been around 8 to 9 months with us, and it's amazing to see the people that truly take the commitment, time, and effort towards learning the skill and the system, right, that we have inside.
Mm,
How you can see so much growth on 8 to 9 months. So I would love to tap into how was that process, how do you adapt it to a new strategy, and how that worked.
mm. I had some understanding of the strategy
Yeah,
because, as I said, I was following you and Wakar for a long time, and I
yeah.
was always watching the content on YouTube and etc. And I saw that your strategy was evolving. So I was trying to also get an eye on on the new concepts, and then trying to apply them.
Mhm.
So once I started, I think what helped me the most is getting it to the VIP. I would always recommend, if you have the time and you have the money, or just if you have the money, I think it's worth it
Yeah,
now that I've gone through the process, because it gives you so much value having the calls with you and Wakar every week, and especially also having the one-to-one call with the coaches, and also the it's almost 24/7 support on the Discord, let's be honest. I mean, whatever time you say something, someone is gonna reply you. So it's almost like 24/7, and I really love and I really enjoy the ecosystem that you built, and that's why I also extended my services with you guys. And I think that what changed, it's because I was able to put all my focus in one thing, that that my trading skills like blow up, let's say, and I was able to see everything more clear. It's because you have all the day, all the time to focus only in one thing, to understanding this thing, and then it's like the all in, no?
yeah,
So when you do this and you have this laser focus on one thing, it's normal that you will improve much more. And
yeah,
my breakthrough was especially around the fourth, 5 month, because I was studying the first 2 months, let's say I was start studying the strategy, and then applying on the next month. So after that is when I can say that I was able to find the consistency to get like 10% a month, more or less, let's say. Maybe I had 1 month that it was worse, but I did at 2%, but then the others are around 10%. So I was especially focused on getting this consistency. And what made me click is it was focus on having this consistency, and not focus on the everyday's win or lose or the P&L. Because when you focus on this, or you focus on only passing the accounts, you will most likely lose the accounts or blow them.
yeah. And this is an amazing comment that you've made, because you've gone through the experience. There's people that joined us and never passed an account before. There's people that join us and they're already funded. And there's people like yourself where like they've been funded, they've been taking payouts on the past, but it's been inconsistent, right?
Mm.
So what would you say, because it's a big shift, right? Like doing around 10% a month is a big accomplishment, but not only doing it one time, but being able to achieve it consistently. And even if it was like 5-6%, is still like a big achievement. But as you said, around 10% has been your average since you found the consistency. What do you think were the first, from a technical aspect perspective, what do you think it changed your strategy or edge for a better by joining us? And then from a mindset perspective, if you think also something clicked there by joining us.
Technically, I really like your style, and actually I trade more your style, which looking and focusing more on the break and test, and on the inducements, and also on the liquidity cycles and all that. So I use more your style for the intraday trades. I do more 1 to 3, 1 to 4, 1 to 5, and stuff like this,
Okay.
than taking, for example, reversals for a 1 to 3, 1 to 10. I found most of my profitability are on the continuations. So I trade more the intraday cycles and with the continuations. This would be technically. And then psychologically, I think I've worked a lot on myself, and that was a big change. And what changed within WWA was focusing more on having an X percentage gain monthly and consistently instead of focusing on passing the accounts. Because when I was with my previous mentor that I took like all the services and everything, no, it was not trading focused, but it was like business focused. And he was like, okay, you need to have a goal of
Mm.
doing let's say in trading you can get accountable with the percentage and the money you gain, no? So that's the only thing. You cannot say, okay, I'm gonna try to get 1 win or 3 wins because you don't know the market conditions and you cannot predict. So I was focused on like, okay, if I have to do, I don't know, let's say 10% to pass the phase one, I was focusing on 2 weeks on doing this 10%. And this will lead you to frustration because market conditions cannot be the best ones. And also will lead you to be too focused on a goal that it's a super hard goal, to be honest, doing 10% in 1 or 2 weeks. Although I've
Mhm.
done in the past, I know it's super hard because not everything will be aligned always. So I think this was my mindset shift from doing it consistently every month rather than uh passing one account a month, let's say.
Yeah. I think you're mentioning so many important things. One of them, as you said, is that style that you end up finding, right? Like a lot of people just trade reversals and it's completely fine. Look, you can find
Yeah.
your strategy around reversals and be a very profitable trader, but something we try to do inside is have those models, right? Where like you can truly understand if we're sitting on a potential reversal trade for London or we are framing the price action more for a continuation trade, which is seen like for you where you found majority of your success, right? And then you, as we say, you find your edge, double down on that one, which doesn't mean you don't need to maybe study still reversals and other frames, but you know where is your winner, right? You know this one is the one that is actually giving me good results, and I can actually consistently pull like my 1 to 3, 1 to 5s that you're saying that you're basically going after. And that's an amazing thing. And also the mindset perspective, right? As you're saying, so many people are focused on what? On the money to pass a funded account. But it's so important first to get the mindset ready that we are a profitable trader, right? So there's no better way than proving it to yourself that with even a personal own track record where you're actually checking on yourself and being like, look, man, for the last 6 months, I've pulled up a 30% or a 70% or a 12%. Doesn't matter the number, but that gives you a first sense that you are a trader. And then if you want to go to prop firms and understand the game and do it a bit differently, it's completely fine. But usually, if you don't have that first foundation that you're mentioning of having that personal understanding that you are a consistent trader, the funding accounts can actually break your mindset because you're just trying to go for an objective that is very hard. And some people do it, as you said, try to do it on a few trades because if not, it's not worth it. If someone tries to pass a funding account in 6 months, they might make no money during the process, right? So that's the whole game of the funding process. A lot of people try to do it on a very quick span. And it's great if you know you're already a good trader or you know you're a good trader. But if you are still on that process of solidifying your strategy, it can also be catastrophic for your mindset of like thinking that you're not a good trader, that you're not understanding the strategy enough, and you're not seeing the results. So that's definitely something that I've seen also a lot of growth on yourself, where like your trades look way more stable, right? Like you can actually find that replicatable system like almost every week, which I can see you catching the SMT continuations ones on London that
Yeah.
you really like to catch. And you can see those happen very often. And this is where you found your edge.
Mm. As you said, we have the models, we have the continuations, and we have the reversals. The thing is that for reversals, I only like, I mean, as per my data, I only like the ones that are pro trend and with a POI. And this happens maybe 1 or 2 times a month. So that's
Mhm.
why I don't have that much data about it. But for the continuations, you can have two, three, four every week.
Yeah.
So that's why I found more profitability on continuations. And since I was able to take more continuations, I was able to refine it more, and that's why I like more continuations. But
Yeah.
for every person, it's different. Maybe someone
Different.
sees much more clear a medium inducement to take a reversal because you already know you have this medium inducement. But for me, I like to read the price on M1, as you know, and see what things are happening at the moment.
And it's amazing. I think you've developed an amazing skill on such a short time on how to read M1 so accurately. And that shows not only your previous experience, plus at the same time, the consumed knowledge that you've seen from maybe Wakars on my channel, but also the ability to truly put a lot of hours on these first 5 months into your reach profitability. And I know right now you are 8, 9 months with us doing great progress. So, what was, if I had to ask, what was the biggest moment since you joined WWA?
My would I wouldn't say it's my biggest moment, but it's the breakthrough that
Yeah,
I was able to see 1 month, 2 month, 3 month being profitable. And I think that was what made me the most happy because before that, as you said, no, when you need to demonstrate yourself that you're profitable, and during the time like month after month after month. And once you find you have this, it's when you have proven yourself already that you're profitable and you are a trader, an actual trader. Because otherwise, you're most likely gambling. No, if 1 month you do 10, but then the next you lose 20, I mean, it doesn't make sense. I mean, of course, you can have bad month, but this bad month cannot look like a minus 20%. It can look like a -1, -3, -4, maybe, but if the other month compensate and you have like usually around plus 10%, um, it's okay. So I
exactly.
think
Always the risk needs to be very mitigated to the downside um, before anything. And people that usually have these sort of behaviors, it's very important to address them very quickly because it can turn into some gambling. I don't want to say gambling addiction, but more, even though of course gambling is addictive, but more like gambling behavior of like don't care if you lose 20% 1 month, right? And at the end, you said, we want to show you guys and people inside to become professional traders. And therefore, as a professional trader, the most important thing is capital preservation. Is what's the risk you're assuming in the market? That's the most important thing. And how you can mitigate losses and how you can also understand that your portfolio or the market environment is right now not playing accordingly, and let me stop for the rest of the week with certain parameters and rules. Let me stop for the month. And you can, as you said, as we said inside, try to have those months that even though they're negative, they're stopped in -3, -2, -4, but not a -20, right?
mm,
Because therefore then the profitable months will be paying dividends for the rest of the year.
I think something that helped me in this case was having a rule of maximum of 3 losses a row
Yeah.
for the week, and I stopped. So when I started applying this, I found myself taking less trades, and with with that, at first I had like a period that I lost like 3 weeks in a row
Yeah.
because I lost three, I was frustrated, and I lost another three, and I was frustrated, so I lost another three, and I was like, okay, something needs to change because if this keeps going on, will be a loser if I'm only losing, and this cannot be possible. So what I did is also adding another rule of taking only one trade a day. So I would look at the chart and see if it's worth to deploy my bullet, if I have to take a shot or not. If I don't take it. And if I have to, I take it. If it's a win, perfect. And if the next day is a loss, it's okay. If the next day is a loss, it's okay. But if I lost another one, I would go back to break even and would be a break even week and would be okay. So
Yeah.
I had this rule and also adding the rule of 1 shot per day. And after combining both, I stopped. It's been like a long that I don't have 3 losses in a row.
Amazing. I think that has basically improved your decision making, right? Knowing that you have that bullet into what setup is actually playing, and then knowing the setup that you're looking for, is the perfect
Mm,
combination of like, it's like if someone's gonna shot like a deer, right? Like if I don't see the deer, I'm not gonna shot. So this is the kind of same thing. It's like your setup, the frame that you're looking for, and what specific things need to happen in the London for you to look for a continuation. And if that happens, you use the bullet, and if not, you preserve capital and you move on. And having that balance is very, very important. So, Shin, thank you very much for your time. It's been an amazing conversation. I think everyone's also going to learn a lot from the mindset you've developed also, and the calmness that we can see that you speak when it comes into your trading and how you actually have evolved. And also very happy to have you as part of the community and for the future plans we have. So amazing to have you today. Thank you very much for your time, and see you inside.
thank you guys so much. I also want to say that speaking with also the coaches and stuff, I was thinking like I think with all the ecosystem that we have built and all the services, all the hours of content that we have, I think it's easier to succeed than not. So I think everyone can make it. You just need to put the time and the effort. Thank you
Amazing.
so much.
Thank you very much, Shin, for those words. See you.